What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about Trump and the Trump family, corruption, and the enrichment that they are doing during this presidency. It is on levels that is pretty much unprecedented when it comes to a presidency and how much he, along with his family, have enriched themselves. And it's crazy. It's crazy that this is not a bigger subject, not a bigger thing talked about. So we're going to talk about it here. Thank you very much for joining me here. If you are welcome to, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you would like to check out the rest of the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos in front of more people. If you would like to check out videos from the rest of my channels, or check out my other channels, please do so. Drummer, Play, Puzzling. If you like what you see there, consider subscribing to those as well. All of that is free for you, helps out the channels tremendously. So that would be amazing if you would. If you want to go further than that, though, there's Patreon there, $2 a month. You can support any of the channels that you would like to help grow those channels, help grow Patreon, help grow JMD Nation, and contribute to that growth however you would like to help grow, keep all these channels going, keep me being able to do all this, and keep them going. So I would greatly appreciate that very much. And if you are returning, you're freaking amazing. You're amazing. Welcome back. Keep coming back because you're what makes JMD Nation. Okay, so yes. We've talked about this. We've talked about, to some degree, things that Trump has been doing, his family has been doing, all throughout this presidency so far. Even before the presidency even, began, there was crypto scam stuff going on, all the meme coins and all these different things. I mean, Trump has had, line after line after line of products that he has put out there that his ardent followers have bought, without, just because it has his name on it or just because they want to support him. But that aside, there have been dealings, there have been market manipulations, there have been foreign government deals and trade stuff going on, agreements through trade, through the tariff war, through all kinds of where this administration has, where Trump himself specifically and along with his family are making these deals and stuff for all kinds of different things, mostly like hotels and different ventures like that throughout in other countries that are meant for to make them rich, or continue and enrich them even more. And it's crazy that this is being allowed, that this is not a bigger scam. Why his followers just accept this as okay, just because he says it's fine. Because that's whenever it has come up, the administration acts like, oh, this is not a problem, it's not really going on, or these deals are not actually being made, or blah 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 blah. Or it's his sons, not him. He's let go. He's put his hands off of it, and his sons are the ones that are making these deals. So they, whatever they're doing, it's them. It's not. It's amazing though how when it was Biden and his son, and him being a part of a company that connected to Russia, right, or Ukraine, one or the other, and was doing, quote unquote, maybe even going on using the government. Taxpayer money to go or whatever, and to strike a deal or just to go to a meeting or something like that. Oh, that was corruption. That was horrible. We shouldn't have done that. But yet, how many times has his children or go on to trips and locations and stuff with him, or sent here and there to make deals and do things, and or just a leisure And yet that's not corruption. It's absolutely, absolutely crazy. But here we are. Let's first start off though. How are Americans feeling? How are Americans feeling? You know, about what's going on. Take a watch.
Here. Okay, Trump will or is making you financially worse off, better off. Back in October of 2024, the reason why he won a second term, 44% said better off, outrunning the worse off at 38%. But look at these numbers. Down through the floor on the better off now, just 14%. Just 14%. I see Johnny off on the side shaking his head. Trump making them financially better off. Meanwhile, the worse off up like a rocket. The clear majority now, 57% of Americans now say that Trump is making them financially worse off. You know, back in 1980, Ronald Reagan asked, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? As Americans look back now, compared to a year and a half ago, their minds on Donald Trump are definitely saying he's made them worse off.
I mean, look at that drop, a 30-point drop in a couple of years. And if you think 14% is low.
Yeah, if you think 14% is low, how low can you go? Well, how about this? Okay, Trump Willer is making you financially worse off, better off among independents, Look at this. The better off now is just 8. It's just 8. When you can count it on your hands, you know the number is low. Just 8% say that Trump is making them financially better off among independents. Way, way down from the 40% who said that back in October of 2024 when the better off was outrunning the worse off at 38%. Look at that 38%, again, up like a rocket. I feel like I'm at NASA. Look at this. 64% of independents now say that Trump is making them financially worse off. These are numbers we've seen among independents over and over and over again. They have turned against Trump, and now about two-thirds.
I mean, these independent numbers are staggering. I mean, 8% is not zero,
no,
but it's closer to zero than it is to 50.
That's exactly right. When you're closer to 0% than you are to 50% as a politician, you know your numbers are bad.
All right, independents obviously a key swing group. What about some of the groups that were key or have been in the past to Donald Trump's electoral success?
Yeah, normally you want to be winning over independents because the way independents go is the way the nation goes. But you definitely want to be holding on to your base. And of course, one key part of Donald Trump's base is non-college whites without a college degree. And even they are flipping on the President of the United States. Trump is or will make you financially worse off, better off. Back in October of 2024, look at that, 54% better off, well outpacing worse off at 30%. Now we're looking at basically the inverse. Just 15% say better off among white voters without a college degree. Trump is making them financially better off. And now even there, the majority of non-college whites, a key part of Donald Trump's base, are saying he's making them financially worse off. These are numbers that would make me, if I were a Republican running in the midterm elections, be quite worried.
These numbers are...
So, as you can see, Americans are not feeling too damn good at all. Even non-college whites, who is the absolute strongest base, like MAGAs, ardent supporters of Trump. We've talked about this before in polling, where everybody would consider negative opinions of Trump, except for non-college whites. They were the only ones that have positive opinions of Trump and the administration. And here we are, even with them right now. Do you feel like he will or is making you financially better off or worse off? And even non-college whites are stating 52% worse off. Absolutely crazy. So while Trump spews about the economy is so wonderful and everybody's happy and blah, 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 or how, you know, the other day he spoke on when it come to the Iran and making a deal is, in, you know, the financial situation of Americans, you know, in any way on his mind. And he's like, no. Why would it be? I don't give a fuck. I mean, he quite literally said it didn't, not even the least bit, not even the least bit, not even the littlest bit does it cross his mind, because he does not care. He does not care whatsoever. We had back in November from the House Committee of the Judiciary Democrats. Now, I know this is a one-sided. I know you're going to say this is one-sided, though. This is the Democrats, and they're, you know, arguing on this. But I've got more. All right, so just bear with me here. All right. New report exposes the Trump family's multi-billion-dollar crypto empire. I'm giving you a you know, kind of like a timeline here. This is in November last year when this was released. Multi-million-dollar crypto empire fueled by self-dealing and corrupt foreign interests. Okay, explosive report detailing how Trump is exploiting the presidency to enrich himself and his families while dismantling anti-corruption safeguards and pardoning corporate cronies. We've seen it's all over the place where Trump has been, pardoning this criminal, pardon this criminal, pardon this criminal, and it's why why? Because they're making deals, okay? All these dinners and stuff where they're going to Mar-a-Lago and paying $1 million for a plate. They're paying. It's a pay to play. We've talked about this before. It's a pay to play. You come down here, you pay me money, and I'll try to find out, make a deal. I'll pardon someone. I'll get something going for you. It's a pay to play scheme going on in this administration in Washington right now, in Florida right now. Washington, D.C., Representative Raskin, ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, released a new staff report revealing how Donald Trump and his family has transformed the presidency into a personal money-making operation, adding billions of dollars to his net worth through cryptocurrency schemes entangled with foreign governments, corporate allies, and criminal activities. Donald Trump has turned the Oval Office into the world's most corrupt crypto startup operation, minting staggering personal fortunes for him and his family in less than a year. Meantime, Trump has been pardoning criminals who commit fraud through crypto and dismantling the regulations that protect legitimate American investors. We don't know where all the money is coming from yet, but America has never seen corruption on this scale take place inside the White House. This report shows how Trump's so-called pro-crypto agenda is just one more Trump family self-enrichment plan built on pay-to-play deals and corrupt foreign interests seeking secret channels of access and influence. Congress must expose this dangerous grift and defend the rule of law against the profiteers and criminals who would destroy it. The report, Trump, Crypto, and a New Age of Corruption, documents how the president has used his office to enrich himself and his family with crypto holdings worth as much as $11.6 billion. That's with a B. An income of more than $800 million from the sale of crypto assets in the first half of 2025 alone, while dismantling federal oversight and safeguards that once protected Americans from fraud, scams, and financial exploitation. It was recently released that Trump has made over, and the people working with his family and the foundation, everything has made over 3,000 market sales and buys over the past year. Over 3,000 that is crazy. Foreign actors and corporate interests have been buying access and favors from the president and his administration by funneling money into the Trump's family's cryptocurrency ventures and making large, politically motivated donations. In return, these financial backers have received swift returns, regulatory rollbacks, policy giveaways, and the quiet termination of federal investigations into major players in the crypto industry. Yeah, there have been a number of people that had federal investigations on them, had been, and Trump turned around and pardoned them and ended the investigations. The report presents extensive evidence of presidential self-dealing, foreign influence, and obstruction of justice, revealing how the Trump administration crypto policies have designed to advance Trump and his family's personal finance interest at the expense of the laws, ethics, and national security. Key findings include Trump and his family have earned hundreds of millions of dollars and added billions to their net worth through a network of cryptocurrency ventures launched during and after 2024 campaign, including World Liberty Financial and the Trump meme coin. The Trump family's crypto ventures have attracted substantial investments from foreign nationals and state-linked entities seeking to curry favor with the administration, raising several constitutional, ethical, and national security concerns. The Trump administration has intervened to halt and terminate federal investigations and enforcement actions involving multiple cryptocurrency firms that have donated to the president or invested in his companies, including Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood, Ripple, Crypto.com, Uniswap, Yuga Labs, and Kraken. Trump has also issued pardons and rollback sanctions for known bad actors that have provided financial support to his ventures. The administration has systematically dismantled anti-corruption and financial integrity safeguards, including dissolving the DOJ National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team and repealing investor protection rules adopted during the Biden administration, moves that have directly advanced the president's personal financial interests. It's absolutely insane how the amount of dissolving of different programs and or different policies, unregulating things, opening up for them to be able to do whatever they want to, and this is we're just letting this happen. It is normal. Even though there are no actual laws against a president technically enriching himself during his presidency, it is kind of it's a conflict of interest, and it's been a well-known precedent of presidents, purposely trying to make sure that they unconnect themselves from any kind of family thing or any kind of investment ventures while in the office. Even cutting ties with family members, company wise or investment wise or whatever, to try to uphold this integrity of not taking advantage of the office. And there have been presidents that went to great strides to do so. And in Trump's first term, he tried a little bit to try to make it look like he wasn't doing anything. He tried to disconnect himself from the Trump Foundation, and he does this whole I'm not going to take any money, as the presidential salary and stuff, and that for his because he's got so much money and he doesn't need it, and so he's just doing this because he loves it. But they didn't really go full on in any kind of scheming kind of stuff, or there wasn't that much when it comes to the stock market, any kind of policy things, the use of social media to manipulate the market and stuff. It just wasn't really happening, and to what extent that it did, you could argue it was just coincidental. But during this administration, from the beginning, Trump was manipulating the market over and over and over. We have seen it happen over and over and over again, where he says things and then pulls back on them. And the whole, taco thing with the tariffs, that's where it started. Now it's tacoing on the war effort and everything. He goes and pushes and pulls. He says things and then pulls back on them, making the market very volatile and unexpected ups and downs, sales and buys, and coincidentally, just interestingly enough, there is these secret buy-offs and sales or purchases of stock right before he announces things. Just millions and billions of dollars being gained by somebody. and it's been nonstop during this particular term. We have here from channel 4, from tariffs to military aid. This was just in April, so give me time. April, okay. From tariffs and military aid, Trump used the presidency to enrich his family business. For decades, Trump's presidents avoid even the appearance of profiteering from their office. Harry Truman refused to lend his name to any business, even in retirement. Richard Nixon feared a brother might profit off their ties. He had his phone tapped, and George W. Bush dumped his individual stock holdings before taking office. President Trump is taking a different approach. The family real estate business is undergoing the fastest overseas expansion since its founding a century ago. Each deal potentially shaping everything from tariffs to military aid. Led by Eric and his brother Donald Jr., the family business has expanded its cryptocurrencies with ventures that brought in billions of dollars raised questions about whether some big investors received favorable treatment in return. The brothers have also joined or invested in a number of companies that aim to do business with the government their father runs. Last month, they struck a deal giving them stakes worth millions in an armed drone maker seeking contracts with the Pentagon and with Gulf states under attack by Iran, and dependent on the U.S. military led by their father. The White House and the Trump organization deny they have any ethnical problems. Asked about the issue of a recent crypto conference, Donald Jr., frankly, it's gotten old. They're tired of being asked about it. It's this is just getting old. Y'all acting like we just enriching ourselves, and it's just getting old. Y'all got anything else to talk about? Of course we're doing it. Of course we're enriching ourselves. I mean, get over it. The problem of conflict of interest goes back a decade to when Trump first ran for office, but some government ethics experts and historians argued it's more pressing than ever as conflicts pile up in his second term that they consider unprecedented, blatant, and dangerous to democracy. I don't think there's any line right now between policy decisions and political calculations and the interest of the Trump family. Zelizer, a presidential historian at Princeton University, deal making abroad. In Trump's first term, the Trump administration did 0 deals in foreign countries. Okay, 0 deals. In a little over a year, that into his second term, it did 8, all ostensibly complying with the Trump organization's self-imposed rule not to do business directly with foreign governments. But governments in authoritarian and one-party states rarely take a hands-off approach, especially when the business belongs to a sitting president. In Qatar, a Trump golf club and villa project is being developed in part by a company owned by the Qatari government. In Vietnam, where the New York Times reported the government pushed farmers off their land to make way for a Trump resort, the country's deputy prime minister signed off on the deal at a ceremony. And in Saudi Arabia, a planned Trump Plaza resort on the Red Sea is being built by a Saudi real estate developer close to the ruling family. Whether the deal has played any role in changing U.S. policy in any way these countries sought is nearly impossible to know, but the countries did get what they wanted: access to advanced U.S. technology for Qatar, tariff relief for Vietnam, and fighter jets for Saudi Arabia. Again, it's a pay-to-play. Yeah, you let us put something here, you let us build something here, and we'll do a little something over here on the side. We'll get you some things you need. No problem. And the Trump administration got something too: tens of millions in fees. Asked about this project, the Trump organization said no deals with government so far, noting that the Saudi company was private and said it is collaborating with the Qatari business and had not struck a partnership with it, but it would have broken its self-imposed rules. They have these rules, and they say, "Oh, well, no, that's not what's happening over, because we have this rule right here that says that we can't do this." But so even though it looks like we're doing it, we're not actually doing it, because see. Another deal raised conflicts of interest question first come to light in a Wall Street Journal article in January, a year after it was struck. Days before the inauguration, the Trump family sold nearly half of its World Liberty Financial crypto business to a UAE government-linked company run by a member of the UAE royal family for $500 million. A second UAE entity, a government fund, invested in the offshore cryptocurrency exchange Binance using $2 billion worth of a digital currency called a stablecoin issued by World Liberty. That allowed the Trump company that received the dollars to put it in safe investments such as bonds or money markets and keep the tens of millions of dollars in interest for itself. Shortly after, the Trump administration reversed a Biden-era restriction and granted the UAE access to advanced U.S. chips. Binance founder Zhao later got a pardon from Trump, despite having pled guilty to failing to stop criminals from using his platform to move money connected to child sex abuse, drug trafficking, and terrorism. The guy pled guilty to failing to stop criminals from using his platform to move money connected to child abuse, drug trafficking, and terrorists. And he got a pardon. Trump's like, well, that's not his fault. I mean, even if he knew about it, he pled guilty to it. Yes, he he pled guilty, but I mean, he didn't know about it. How was he to know? I mean, yeah, he knew about it, but it doesn't make him a bad guy. A lawyer of Zhao denied any connection between the Binance business with the Trump family and the pardon. Any claim of a quid pro quo by Binance or CZ or preferential financial treatment by Binance is a clear misstatement of the public record. When asked about the pardon, the White House and the federal authorities were unfairly punished Zhao in what is calling the Biden administration's war on crypto. So that's the argument. Anytime something happens, anytime somebody's pardoned, that we go, wait a minute, but that was an actual criminal, or they actually did do that, and you're just letting them. Why are we doing what's going on here? And it's like, oh, but that was a Biden thing. Biden, his government, and his DOJ was just going after people, and it was wrong of them to do so. So we're erasing everything Biden did. So it's okay. It's okay. World Liberty has also provided a separate income stream to a new Trump limited liability corporation through sales of governance tokens that give owners certain voting rights in its business, though not equity stakes, raising $2 billion last year. That translates into hundreds of millions of dollars for the Trumps through their World Liberty ownership stake and a separate side deal allowing them to cut of these sales. One big token investor was Justin Sun, a cryptocurrency billionaire who is a foreign citizen, would be banned under U.S. law from making political donations to U.S. politicians. Between Trump's election and inauguration, Sun spent $75 million on the tokens. So this is their way of getting around people funding them or funding a U.S. politician is by doing it through this crypto governance token so that he can give him money and it not look or not break any rules or laws on a foreign citizen quote unquote helping to donate or fund a U.S. politician. In February last year, a federal lawsuit charged Sun with duping investors was paused before being settled last month for a $10 million fine. And just another investigation paused and dealt with. Then there was a souvenir-type meme coin stamped with Trump's face that went on sales day before the oath of office. Over the next 4 months, the coins generated $320 million, mostly going to Trump-related entities, according to blockchain chain analysis. That is more than double the money collected in 4 years running his Washington, D.C. hotel in the first term. Unlike the lobbyists or campaign donors trying to influence Trump, the coin buyers can buy anonymously. One who chose to make his purchase public was Sun, who spent $200 million on the coins and got access to Trump at a gala party he held for the biggest buyers. Another crypto family business, American Bitcoin, went public in September, giving Donald Jr. and Eric about $1 billion in paper wealth at that time. Months earlier, their father announced a new national Bitcoin reserve, sending the price of the cryptocurrency soaring to a record. This is over and over and over and over again, enriching themselves in all these different avenues of cryptocurrency, solely on Trump making policy posts on True Social or on X or whatever, mostly True Social. Trump thinks people don't care. Asked in the comment, the White House said Trump acts in an ethical, sound manner and that suggested to the contrary is either ill-informed or malicious. It reiterates that his assets are in a trust managed by his children and state he has no involvement in family business. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Come on. Come on. Forbes estimates Trump's net worth is now $6.3 billion, soaring 60%. 60% from before he returned to the office. A striking development given how much the Trump organization struggled before. The Trump International Hotel in D.C. never turned a profit before being sold. Never turned a profit. The mastermind businessman couldn't turn a profit. The same reason why he bankrupted a casino. They never turn a profit because they're stealing the money. They're not intended to make a profit. It's the same thing when it comes to the U.S. government. They are stealing the money. They're the whole, we're going to fix the deficit. It's not. They're making it worse, and they're stripping it and running away with the money. 2 Trump hotel chains catered to middle-class travelers in his first term shut down for lack of demand. Condominium buildings stripped the Trump name off their facades after discovering that instead of attracting buyers, it was repelling them. No new U.S. condominiums are putting Trump's name on in the second term, but his name is prized in Washington, where people have business before the federal government. Trump Jr., his oldest son, opened a private club in Georgetown section of Washington that is charging initiation fees as high as $500,000 for founding members. One of the few clubs with comparable fees, the Yellowstone Club in Montana, offers access to multiple resorts, 50 ski trails, and more than a dozen restaurants across a members-only area the size of Manhattan. Junior's club is in the basement of a building but offers something else, proximity to power. And the club's name is the Executive Branch. If you don't get it, if you don't see it, the pay-to-play fraud and corruption that is happening in Washington with this family, the enrichment that they are doing, that's the whole reason why he went back to Washington. And the whole reason why they have been so ardent on making sure that they had yes men around them and they could change and do executive orders and everything to try to unregulate everything and control what they could control so that they could continue to enrich themselves and do all these business deals domestically and internationally. From his Bibles to his guitars to his sneakers. I mean, we've seen all that. New year, new prophets. Here we have, and this was just a few days ago. Okay? A few days ago, a newly released ethnics filing was revealed that the U.S. President Donald Trump made over 3,600 stock trades during the first quarter. The first quarter. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I said in the past year, the first quarter of 2026, with a value between $220 million and $750 million. Donald Trump's last financial disclosure has opened an unusual detail window into the scale and pace of trading activity tied to the U.S. president's investment portfolio. The findings, the filing submitted on Thursday to the government ethnics through two reports disclosed more than 3,600 transactions executed between January and the end of March. The cumulative value of the trades ranged from at least $220 million to as much as $750, as federal ethnics disclosures only require broad valuation bands rather than precise figures, which is bullshit. U.S. presidents are not banned from trading financial markets, but most disclose personal trades. No charges were made or given or proven acts of insider trading have been outlined, but the revelation still draws ethics scrutiny and a push for trade restrictions. The filing do not specify whether Trump directed the trades. His personal assets and business empire is actively managed by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, but some entities also indicate broker involvement. The documents reveal extensive exposure to some of Wall Street's biggest names, particularly in technology and specifically AI. Individual profits of NVIDIA, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Apple, and others range from $1 million to $5 million in disclosed values, while buy orders of AMD, Intel, Goldman Sachs, Alphabet, Airbnb, DoorDash, Micron, Bloom Energy, and others range from $500,000 to $1 million in disclosed values. U.S. President Donald Trump has reported hundreds of stock sales ranging from $15,000 up to $25 million. According to the report, in assuming the holdings have remained relatively the same since March, Trump is 20% or more in profit on almost all of the names indicated here and others. In particular, Trump is over 100% in profit. 100% in profit on AMD, Intel, Iridium Communications, Bloom Energy, Initiative Machines, Marvel Technologies, Penguin Solutions, SanDisk, Seagate, Vishay Intertechnology, and other stocks. Based on the dates of the interactions, it is also apparent that Trump heavily bought the price dip in March caused by the start of the Iran war. The S&P 500 dropped over 8% and bottomed at the end of the month, subsequently rising around 19% to record highs. There's currently a live bipartisan push in the Congress to pass a stock trading ban for political officials, and several proposals are at different stages of the legislative process. The most prominent effort is Restore Trust in Congress Act, a bipartisan bill by Republican Representative Chip Roy and Democrat Seth Mackenzie, whatever, in September 2025. There are bipartisan bills being put up to stop stock trading by the U.S. Congress, banning it. And then there are others that extend even to the presidency, but yet they are not passing them. As a matter of fact, the other day, let me see if I can find this real quick. The other day, Mike, what's his name? The House leadership, came out publicly stating that, because of the price of or Congress salaries have not grown since 2009. Okay, there's not been an increase in salaries for Congress since 2009. Although Congress can vote if they want to, they can vote or allow for increment, cost of living raises. They have waived those since 2009. So nobody in Congress has had a raise since 2009. Okay, and he was bringing this up and arguing that because of this and this goodwill of ours for doing so. Now, also, hold on, I'll say that in a minute. That because they're good, that in order for the Congress to be able to better take care of their family and their children and their living and blah 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 blah, I mean, they should be allowed some stock trading. They should be allowed to trade on the market. So, I mean, why are we why are we trying to ban it? This was the House leadership. Mike Johnson, goodness, his last name finally popped in my head. Mike Johnson stating that, because we haven't had a raise, we should be able to trade so that we can better take care of our families. You quite literally help to put forth policies that directly can affect the market or how things work domestically. And you don't think, as much argument as there's been, the Republican Party, MAGA, has jumped all over like the Pelosi's and stuff like that for insider trading. And I completely agreed. I said this shouldn't be. If they are enriching themselves, they need to, that something needs to be done. It needs to be banned. I am all for it. I am all for it. They shouldn't be enriching themselves by their publicly voted elected positions to represent us. They are rich. If they are enriching themselves, then they should be removed. There's something should be done to ban them from being able to do this. Now, though, they are literally arguing for them to be able to trade stocks on their own, even though they directly can affect the market by policies that they implement. I'm the corruption in the Republican Party. This is coming from leadership that is being influenced by Trump and his family and the administration. So they're basically saying, no, we don't want to ban stocks. We don't want to ban it for us or even the president, because we want to be able to do it because we should be, we got to take care of our families too. And we don't have a raise. Understand that since 2009, the American peoples haven't had a raise either. Interestingly enough, and I would argue that that's probably the reason why Congress won't even implement a minimum wage, because they are not getting a raise either. And until it is acceptable for them to get a raise, they're not going to give us a raise either. But understand that the average congressman, congresswoman, congressperson makes roughly around $190,000 a year. The average makes about $190,000 a year. The average American, the average median income American makes around $60,000. So congressmen make 3 times as much as the median everyday American. And yet they're arguing that they shouldn't be restricted from doing stock trading because they need to take care of their families. I would say many of these which have enriched themselves through other ventures and even the market. The reason why the argument is that you just go to Congress and you become a millionaire. But yet they need to take care of their families, because I guess they can't take care of their families when they're making, when they're millionaires either. So they need to be able to trade stocks as well. The Republican Party is not going to do anything about this. They are all for the corruption. They are quite literally asking for them to be corrupt themselves. So why would they care about Trump and his family being corrupted? It's insane. It's insane that we have this type of stuff going on. I mean, literally just last week when Trump went to China, for some weird reason, Eric Trump and his wife also went. Why? As we stated, even the, that Epstein associate director, movie director, Ratner or whatever, even he went, and he went so he could scope out for a movie, for stuff for an upcoming movie that he plans on doing, Rush Hour 4. Why is he able to access and get a ride on taxpayer money for that? It's a pay to play. It's a pay to play. He directed the Melania movie. It's a pay to play. All these little things. The corruption is blatant. Trump and his family are the most corrupt family currently in the United States, if not the world. And him and his family are enriching themselves off of the presidency more than any president that could even remotely be argued as enriching themselves previous to Trump. Like leaps and bounds more. And there's nothing being done about it. There's nothing being done about it. Report after report after report after report. Findings come out more and more and more about all these new things coming that they're doing, all these different ventures that they're going into, making deals here, making deals there. And if they can't make deals, then they do military actions like they did in Venezuela, removing the person in power there so they could turn around and steal oil, to turn around and sell that oil, and then those profits were put into a bank in like Qatar that's personally accessible by the president. He just argued the other day about how they, hit that tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. Or, and we got on there, we got on that boat, and we took we took it. It's so easy. It's like we're pirates. Some would call us pirates. We just took it. It's told the corruption, the scheming, the stealing, deal making, it's all being done on the backs and the taxpayer all across this country. And nobody's really talking about it. And the few outlets that are talking about it, it's not seeming to make a difference. I mean, the viewpoints of his followers are dwindling little by little. But some are still just no holds bar, full on supporting him. Just understand, again, you are continuing to support a corrupt, fraudulent con artist, a child predator, womanizer, sexual abuser. He's a criminal connected to Epstein. We know. But he's done everything he can to cover up the Epstein files. He's done everything he can to have the pay for play and Mar-a-Lago. $1 million dinner after $1 million dinner after $1 million dinner. Even while starting a war. The day we attacked Iran with Israel, they had $1 million dinner in Mar-a-Lago. That's the reason why he was in Mar-a-Lago. But yet it's hard for me to even try to invest in any stock portfolio and make anything off of it. Partly because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it, but they are enriching themselves. 60% increase in overall wealth and the Trump family since the start of this administration. Understand, there's no way that he would have been able to enrich himself 60% more wealth if he was not corrupt. Let me know what you think. And thank you very much for your time. Again, if you like what you see, consider subscribing, like all that good stuff. Helps out tremendously. And until next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.